Hello, good morning. Welcome into another episode of Good Morning NASDAQ. You're live with me, Jim, and Larry over there from his car. Not looking as sunny today, this nice and early in California. Kyle is in Hawaii. We're all over the place. I'm about to get on a plane here. I got to leave right after we close up shop right now. Nice, friendly reminder as well, due to traveling schedules. Tomorrow morning will be canceled, so no Good Morning NASDAQ tomorrow morning. Write it down, put it on a post-it note um, for all those factors. But we're here today. The market still looks, what's the word? Boring and horrible. The overall market's down over 1% already. I was reading in the room. Did something come out? No, it wasn't anything. It was just Meta earnings.
Yeah, Meta tanked.
But overall market, after a short-lived bounce here, last few days, coming off those highs right now, down quite a bit. Going into this end of the week, Thursday, Friday, temperature of the market is quite cool, quite cold. All the stuff that I had third eye watches on looks like it's dead this morning. So good day to travel, good day to study, good day to do something else. We'll take a look at the market, go over some tickers right now. But welcome in. Thank you guys all for being here. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Last night, someone was like, I always miss the start of Wine Wednesday. I have a solution for you. Hit that notification bell right next to the subscribe button, and you'll get notified every time that we go live. And we go live often. Okay, guys? We go live every single morning that the market is open, and then Wednesday nights as well. And we also post long-form content every single week. So please check it out. Also, big announcement, new link in the description. We're doing an all-day webinar coming up here in a few weeks, May 15th. Put it on your calendars. It's just going to be live with the Clovers from pre-market all the way through the close of the market. We'll talk. We will do some live trading, answer Q&A all day long, maybe even have a presentation or two. But so that link is live. It's hot and ready. Make sure you're following us on socials as well to be up to date on all that stuff. But check it out. See if it's something that interests you. Alrighty. We got Joseph in the room. Wayne first as always. Fran, Ratish, Max, welcome in. Welcome in. Hope you guys are having a great week, a safe week. I'm heading out to Florida for some sunshine before we get the full-on spring summer effect here in Michigan. Looking forward to that. What do you have anything to say about the market before we get into the gappers?
Nope. Just that I didn't get good sleep last night.
What
It's one of those
happened?
nights, but it's okay.
What
I don't know. Just
happened?
toss and turn. There was like a fly and it kept going into my ear and I'd have to like hit my face in order to get it away, but then and it was a mosquito, it wasn't a fly. So it
That
bit
time of
me and
year,
then I was
huh?
itchy and then yeah, it wasn't great. It kept me up all night. It was horrible.
So one
Um,
microscopic bug is the reason for your poor sleep.
it's the reason that we're a little bit late today, that's for sure.
We're blaming it on Mosquito
Um,
Joe.
the YouTube is good. I'm glad you mentioned that. We just came out with our three best trades YouTube video. I went over my three best trades of the first quarter so far. Dom will be coming out with his, and Kyle will be coming out with his. So definitely subscribe and stay tuned for those types of videos. I think those are good, reviews of some of the better charts that we've seen this year, and give them a watch.
Give him a watch, give him a like, give him a comment. Let us know what you guys want to see in the future. We meet up all the time to do content trips. If you have anything a little spicy, a little bit different, we're all ears. We like doing fun stuff as well as doing anything we can to get you guys content. So thank you guys for being here this morning. Let's get right into it. Biggest gap of the day is an interesting one. It is BRFH, Bar Fresh Foods, 30 mil market cap, 7.58 mil float. Their industry is beverages, non-alcoholic, just like your beer last night.
Mm, that's gross.
Let's see what the news was. This kind of
Scared me.
interesting mover. I don't see anything on dilution tracker. I don't see anything at all. Does anyone in chat have any information that I'm not finding here on Bar Fresh Foods? Because this did quite an incredible little pre-market move. 3.8 months of cash left. Warrants in the 11s. a shelf. Let's head on over the chart for more reference. So pretty much dead daily chart. Like I'm talking nothing here. One big kind of wick up back in 2022 on really, really low volume. But this is a stock that trades like 400 shares a day. Not much to go off of. Not even really top left to bottom right. More just like never does anything. And then it looks like a couple prints yesterday and after hours. And then this morning, unless my charts are wrong, they most definitely could be. Is there like this one confuses me. Are you looking at charts or no?
Yeah, it just looks a little random.
Just super random. Goes from $1 to $5 in a minute, and then pretty much has been fading all of pre-market and now sideways around $2, which is still up over 100% on the day. So pretty big move so far. Looks pretty much dead, but a lot of range to play with from 2 to 5. What are your first thoughts here?
It's either gonna have like some kind of halt sequence up or down, because coming from from a dollar, I think it might trigger it quite easily. But I think there's also an equal opportunity world where it just kind of fades and breaks the pre-market lows and keeps fading off. I really don't know what this is. It doesn't look like a good company. It doesn't really scream. I mean, it hasn't really done anything that I can really tell you much about it in terms of like where I would framework this thing, other than I just don't think it's a good company. I mean, it's a dollar stock for a reason. This might be a little volatile this morning given its range, but ultimately I do think it's going to break those lows.
Yeah, really interesting look. Not something you see every day. Like I said, daily chart pretty much dead. Not a lot to play off of in terms of support and resistance that really matters. Today's volume candle is far and away the biggest one already on this entire chart. So there's not a lot of structure to play off of and go, oh, I want to short this into this resistance or I want to buy this breakout. None of that this morning. Pretty much sticking to the statistics or avoiding it altogether. But like I said, low-ish float, 7 mil. A lot of range to both sides if people are waiting for like pre-market levels. It just, because of how much range you did on that one candle, everything else looks so small. But there is a lot of range here. We'll see if it's just a fader or if this one catches some people off guard. It is the biggest percent gapper that I see. It still is. Yeah, not a lot here. Gappers haven't been doing that hot to the upside recently. What was yesterday's one? AMST. Pretty much had one big push out of the gate and then pretty much went down to pre-market support and held there all day and is now back to that level right now. So don't think there's a lot of people out there chasing and buying a lot of these day ones. Overall market temperature is not really ripe for a lot of small cap action right now. Momentum's quite dead. We're losing charts by the day to keep watches on things. So we will see if anything changes here today. But with my schedule, this is never really anything that I would be interested in buying. But definitely could see the merit in the short side, being that it's still up over 100%. Next gapper that I see, which is the only other one up over 50%, is OPTN. Getting going here in pre-market. Optinose. 111 mil float, 156 mil market cap.
Whoa. That's a big float.
It's very big. They provided a corporate update an hour ago on their Xhance launch and outlook, and announces preliminary first quarter net revenue of 14.9 million. So it looks like earnings
winner.
40 months of cash left. Some warrants at 256. They have an active ATM from August 2021 of $50 million. Let's take a look at said chart. Cash need is low, though. Optinose. Serving the needs of patients cared for by ears, nose, and throat and allergy specialist. They have offices in U.S. and Norway, if you were wondering. Kind of a bleh daily chart here. This is kind of the opposite of BRFH, where most days here it trades decent volume. Like if you look at the bottom, most of the small caps we see are pretty much dead, and then all of a sudden for like a week or two we have massive volume. This one generally trades a higher floor of volume than most stocks we look at, probably due to that bigger float. Maybe they're a more real company trying to make it. Not doing such a great job here over the last few years, though. Pretty much top left to bottom right with some periods of consolidation at the highs and lows. Not a volatile chart at all. Never really, and besides this move here from the twos to the high threes over a few days, not one where I think you could really predict a lot of activity or volatility at any moment in time. Seems like a trender. It's either going sideways, trending up, or trending down, and not really looking like it fits too much into our small cap bubble. Here up 46% now on the day due to earnings. Don't think there's going to be a lot of interest here to the short side, and probably not to the long side as much either. Again, due to market conditions and just because this just doesn't feel like our normal small cap type of runner. Would you agree, Jim?
This does not feel like a regular small cap runner. No.
What else?
Yeah, they're up on earnings. They have some kind of FDA approval for a new product that is promising 300 million in revenues, which is, I think, what the market is reacting to. And maybe price to sales at that point is better than the price of the stock as of yesterday. So could be why it's up. Feels like it's up on real fundamental news. Feels like the float is a bit bigger than your average pump and dump reverse split scheme. Either they haven't gone through it yet and they still need to. That could be still a possibility. But yeah, I agree. I think this kind of feels more like a real stock and not something that I'm too eager to. I mean, I'm not eager to trade it, but I wouldn't be jumping out of my seat to short it. That's for sure.
All right, let's move on. Someone's bringing up AIRE. We talked about this one getting going yesterday at the end of the day, on news of. They had news that was, this was the real estate zero commission power broker agent, 10 million float. This is day 2 here. After doing 35 mil yesterday, pretty much got going when the news hit in the 11s around noon yesterday. Strong close, strong after hours, and now sitting up near those highs, up 44%. This fits much more into our world. 10 mil float, got some resistance up here in the $2 area. Some more structure to this one. You can see here the difference in volume, a lot lower than the days it gets PRs or news, and that volume really explodes. Day 2 into some resistance overhead. What are your initial thoughts here, Huddy?
Well, it's an AI stock. I think I kind of compartmentalize that somewhere in my head. That's important to know. Yearly highs are at 222. Some overhead resistance. I don't think day 2s have done too well this year. I mean, this one being a little bit more under the radar. I don't think most people were playing this yesterday on day 1, so maybe not a whole lot of sellers right there at market open, but still kind of a long-term downtrending chart. We'll see if this news kind of is a reawakening for the company. I doubt it, but maybe this does well, and I hope it does. Right? Every stock I look at, I really hope it does do well. I want this to go through 220. I want this to close at 253 and have this amazing looking chart that sets up really nicely for us in the future. That's always the goal, but I just don't really know if this really has it in it. It helps that it's an AI ticker. It helps that it's up a lot already, but I don't know. It's coming from 50 cents and it's at $2 or $1.60. So
yeah, I wonder if 40
I
to
can see it
50
fading.
I wonder if 40 to 50% is something that Kyle would be interested in for an overextended gap up. Like, I don't know necessarily all of his metrics per that, but day 2 is a big
I can
run.
tell you.
Yeah, go.
I can tell you statistically that this gap up 50% plus is not great this year. Like a lot of these do fade. How much they spike first, I can't tell you, but a lot of them kind of come back towards red green and then kind of bounce off red green. I mean, you could see it in WISA, you could see it in AISP from earlier this year. I mean, again, those were kind of bigger gaps or bigger price ranges.
Even like AGBA.
AGBA, yeah, it just feels like day 2 has a lot of problems holding up. Doesn't mean that they all will have problems holding up, right? But that's just kind of the general statistic that I've seen. A lot of these fade.
Yeah, and you're running right into resistance, whole dollar, half dollar, too. The move's still probably kind of being digested from people who missed it yesterday. Yeah, if I was willing to short this, I'd probably be looking at that $2 area or some sort of hard crack and then fade back down towards the low one, towards that red, green, red area. Um, but definitely one to keep on watch. Interesting. And these days, with when there's so few active tickers like that are having momentum, trading good volume, uh, anyone that I find that it's on in any sort of multi-day fashion, I want to keep an eye on it, see what it does. And for those instances where Huddy's talking about where it does push to 250, close up there, and then we have a better first red day tomorrow or Monday. So definitely keeping eyes on anything that is moving. But this is a much more interesting structured chart so far, coming off its lows. So we will see what AIRE can do today. See if there's any other tickers people want to talk about. Max says this market is for sleeping in. Yes, it really is. Kyle's in Hawaii, so he's definitely sleeping in no matter what. I don't think he's getting up early. I think a 3:30 market open for him. Not too ideal there. Red Candle says DJT and then post a chart of something going up. Huh.
Okay.
It's just not a small cap runner. I don't know if it is a small cap or not, but it's interesting when it's interesting. This is former DWAC. But when it's not interesting, it's not something that I'm interested in. I guess that makes kind of obvious sense. But like people probably looking at like this multi-day area at like 37, 38. Not something that I do a whole lot of. I used to do more of it with OTCs when they were a lot cleaner, and I would play breakouts into previous resistance because they would tend to just go from one resistance level to another. With these stocks, especially ones with DJT, I don't know. Kyle could probably fill you in about what they're selling. They have the ability to sell a lot of shares, insiders,
There's a
or
lot of strays that just got gifted to a lot of people
yeah, okay. We're so far off the highs. We
at,
have
at,
all of
at
this
prices in the
resistance.
teens.
Just not something that interests me a whole lot when it's just in consolidation phases or right near the lows. We're a lot closer to lows than we are the highs, and yeah, we're 100% off the lows or 100% off the highs. But no interest here for me. If it fits your speed, if it's something you like to do, go for it. But you won't really see me bringing up this ticker. Ratish says BRFH is moving on expected earnings. MTC and Sizu. MTC. This what is? Why do I remember this one?
This one is like
Weird.
this has been known pumpy ticker.
Okay, it looks like it. Kind of big runs out of nowhere on decent volume, and then does a whole lot of nothing. Move in the last 2 days
But
from
also gets
160s to
destroyed.
the threes, but on very very light volume. Doesn't look that
I mean, do you
horrible.
see that candle
But
from 486 down to 129 in one day? It's not good. Red flag.
I don't remember that. It's a decent looking breakout back there. Huh. Interesting one is up near resistance 380 area and then overhead 480 that um Huddy just alluded to. Not a breakout that I'm all that interested in just because of lack of knowledge of this and just due to its wonky nature. Quite scary looking. But if I was just objectively looking at it, 160 to 380s into resistance, technically it could be a potential first red day today, but I don't know. Sometimes when my spidey senses go off and I shouldn't trade something, it's just right, and I tend to trust it, especially when I'll be traveling.
What is your angle here? What are you trying to trade?
What do you mean?
Are you calling this a breakout?
I said my spidey senses are going off to not trade it.
Oh yeah, I'm just looking at it. I see. We already have 2 days. We're going on to day three. There's overhead resistance. It's got a history of pump and failure. So I would not be looking at this as a long bias trade. I would think more than likely it's going to fade at some point, and it's predictably on day three not going to. More odds that on day three that it goes red than day two or day one. I probably, again, this probably isn't my main focus, but I don't think it's going to break out. I think it's going to fake out.
Yeah, and it's one also where I feel like I wouldn't really trust a first red day. I mean, in the past, actually, first red day looks like when it goes actually red, it goes
Looks
lower.
solid.
But you generally those days also have giant wicks to the upside, so I don't know if I would just trust it to short a red move or not. But lower
I'll be
volume.
watching it.
It's an interesting one. I'm excited to see how it plays out, but I don't think I will be putting my money on the line. Max says MTC is China. I don't know. Going back, it
Yeah, I
had
believe it.
plenty of attempts to move and run. But here we are, appearing the
Followed
380
by great first
resistance.
red days.
Yeah, something to keep on watch if it does get a little bit too nutty, where it becomes more obvious, or if anyone does get kind of squeezed out. SGBX running 80% up on the day, low priced. The new top runner, that BRFH, is down to 45% up on the day. SGBX, what are your thoughts on these
XGBX.
low price gappers? Safe and Green, weed company, I think.
I XGBX.
SGBX, Sergeant Gary
I know this
Bartholomew
one.
Xavier.
Xavier. Safe Green. Why don't you just say so?
Sorry.
Safe Green Holding is a dog water company. Reminds me of CYN.
Top left to bottom right, severely so. Whereas in the last like 6 months, it was over $2, and now it is under 20 cents. Gapping 80% up into the low 20s right now. No interest for me on this daily chart at all. Nowhere near anywhere that like any buy down here. I'm buying straight into bag holders and resistance. Don't really feel like shorting a 26-cent stock. I don't know if Huddy agrees with that. He was shorting CYN the other day.
I don't know. I'm not afraid of cheap stock. I'm not afraid of shorting 20-cent stocks.
You heard
I'd
it
have
here
to look
first.
more
He's
into the
not afraid.
fundamentals. I'm not afraid. I mean, obviously choose your routes really specifically, right? What the nice thing is that brokers like Centerpoint have made it available to short cheap stocks and not get bent over and ECN fees and routing fees. So that wasn't a thing when I first started. When I first started, like I would never short a 26-cent stock just because the fees alone would be like 15%. So in order to profit and make like one-to-one risk reward, you have to make 30%, and that's just one-to-one. Let alone if I lose, like that sucks. That really takes away a lot of the edge in the first place. That's a big percentage. So that's no longer a thing as long as you choose your routes carefully. Try to get filled on the ask type of ideas. And so as long as you're meticulous, or as long as I'm meticulous, I don't mind going after these when they gap up massively. A lot of them do fade, and there's good evidence for it. So that's why I went after CYN the other day. Had a lot of experience. There was it's dog water ticker, and I don't think SGBX is gonna be much different, but still gotta be wary of floats and volumes and dilution and stuff like that. I kind of want to formulate the plan there a little bit more before just jumping in.
Yes. All right, 121 of you in here, only 38 likes. Would prefer that number be over 50. Greedy part of me says it should be over 60. But thank you guys for your participation today. A lot of random tickers that I didn't really have on watch so far, like MTC. William says Poet setting up for a first red day. What'd you say?
It was on Kyle's watch.
Was it? But he's probably not waking up for it. 3:30 a.m. early.
Poet's good. I was kind of eyeing that as well last night. Kind of light volume there as well, but definitely on a nice multi-day run. Hopefully volume picks up. I don't really want to short a stock, only 6 million shares traded and $2.
It just feels like one you have to be quite perfect on to capture the range. Like maybe a move from 220 to 180. Risk reward's got to be good. Timing's got to be good. Not my specialty in terms of timing on short selling, but that's up there as well. Maybe a good time to be scanning, just seeing which stocks are out there that are moving right now, because it seems like they're moving random times of the day, kind of random charts. I don't know. My brain is kind of like off for the rest of the week just because of how boring it's been. That SGBX is now the highest percent gainer on the day. BRFH down 40%. So whereas I thought that would be the highest one, drifting off towards pre-market lows there. Wouldn't be surprised to see that one round trip it all the way back.
I miss February when like I'd come and there'd be like a 500% gapper and 300% gappers. That was an awesome month.
When you had 5 to short every day?
When I was very scared every day.
And every day I made money. Checking in on you. All right. That is the hour this morning. Like I said, check the link in the description. We'll be doing an all-day webinar May 15th. Hopefully the market picks up for that. You'll have access to the Clovers for 7 hours, doing live Q&A, live trading. Will be available all day long. You can get access to that with the link in the description. Head on over to clovertrading.io. But yeah, the main lesson continues to go for me this week, where it's just sit back, wait. Sit back, wait. Cost me nothing to do nothing. Write that down. Wait for something really good to develop. Wait for something good to set up. Don't need to be super anticipatory right now. Oh, it's going to have a first red day tomorrow. Oh, it's going to break out in 2 days. Now is the time to sit back, wait, look for higher conviction trades, add to the bottom line, and not take unnecessary losses, because this is the time where those type of trades really do affect you mentally, affect the bottom line, and can kind of spiral you out of control when the market really is telling you to chill out. Go golfing, go fishing, go on a walk. Take your dogs for a walk, people. Please. This is the time to do it. Not the time to be aggressive, not the time to be overly eager and excited to click buttons. I know I certainly am not. I think I'm going to head on over to the Delta Sky Lounge and see what they're cooking for lunch. But I hope you guys all have a great day, a great rest of your week. No Good Morning NASDAQ tomorrow. So we will see you first thing Monday morning, hopefully in a pumped up, happy vibes market. Hopefully things are turning around the corner by then. But no promises, no guarantees. But we will see you then, 8:45 a.m. Link in the description of the all-day webinar. Check it out. Check it out. Huddy, thank you for being here today. And we will see you guys over in the Clover trading room, where Huddy will be running things today, chatting it up, because I will be at the airport and Kyle will be sleeping for the next 6 hours. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.